If I was to play something for you, I'd be your accompanist, and you'd do your thing. Neither am I.
Yes.
You look a little nervous.
I
right?
am nervous.
Go on.
I'm like blanking out with the words. How about Purple Rain?
I don't know that one.
You do. You lie.
Okay, you sing it.
How could I even try?
Go on. She's tearing up. Oh.
That's not what the audience wants. You're killing me.
That's the idea.
Shut up already. Damn.
Scared of y'all, come on. What you come here for?
Hey folks, Donnie Thomas, also known as Pitmaster T, the fabulous Pitmaster T. Welcome to my station. Today, we're going to learn a little bit about fajitas. And one thing I want to tell you, fajitas, they're not a Mexican thing. They're a Tex-Mex thing. As a matter of fact, they really date only as far as the mid-70s. The recipe I'm about to share with you is a variation on the famous Charlie Alcala fajitas. And Charlie is from Galveston. He used to teach with my dad back in Galveston Ball High back in the 70s and 80s. And he was quite the champion. His brother, Adolf Alcala, is also a barbecue champion too. A lot of people think of Texas, they think of barbecue, and they think of chili cook-offs. And while those things go on, definitely in the mid-70s and early 80s, there was this thing called the fajita cook-off. And it was a very regional thing. So once again, when you think of fajitas, don't think it's a Mexican thing, it's a Texas thing. Now, in order to do this, you're going to have skirt steak, not flank steak, but skirt steak. We'll get to that in a moment. But what I want to do is show you a variation on what I just barely remember about seeing Charlie Alcala put together his marinade. In this particular case, I'm going to do a very rather small meal for about 50 or 60 people here at the church. And so I'm going to use a bussing bucket to put my meat in. But first, what I want to do is mix together the marinade. And in order to mix together the marinade, I want to do it in this and not this because I can mix it a little bit easier. Alright, so that's going to require me to get a stirring. So I'm going to need one of these. Okay, now a lot of these things are basic. They're not precise. But here is usually the batch I make up for at least 50 people. It may work out for about 100. We'll see how it goes. The basic thing that he used to use was wishbone Italian dressing, which was very popular back in the 70s. Remember, back in the 70s, there weren't a lot of choices like there are now. And I'm going to use 2 of these bottles. The other thing I'm going to use is soy sauce. Now the following things Charlie Alcala just simply didn't use. I like a background flavor of my butt glitter, so put that in. I love the earthiness of a coarse black pepper. As far as heat, That's going to hit you and then go away. I like a little extra acidic value. I and sometimes I put in everything from, if I want to expand this, whew, pepper's got me. I want to expand this a little bit further, make it go a little further. I'll add frozen lime aid concentrate and water. I'm going to add some lemon juice in a bottle to 2/3 of a bottle, depending on how much you like, of Worcestershire or Sir Duke. And now we're just going to mix that up. Okay, now just before you get your meat out, you don't want to put all this in there, but you do want to put in, about an inch, so that when you lay your meats in there, they're beginning to marinate and there's not this space underneath it that doesn't get any marinade. So we're going to pour a little bit in there. Really just enough to get it started. And now, let me show you what true skirt steak looks like. As you can see, some of them can be kind of long. One of the things I did is I will score some of these just a little bit on one side and cross score them. Helps gets the marinade in there a little bit better. Once again, I remember Charlie Alcala doing this. And he is alive, so he may come and visit me. Be careful. Don't get too overconfident with your knife. We're going to set them in the marinade. Simply scoop it up and wash it across your meat. Like my next layer, I'm going to have to add some more marinade. Okay, finally, if you are so inclined to do chicken, I implore you, get yourself some chicken thighs. Now, you can get chicken thighs with the bone in if you want. I suggest go ahead and pay the extra to get them with the bone taken out already. You could try this with chicken breasts, but they're really going to dry out a little bit too soon. You are using one of the most flavorful cuts on the cow, the skirt. So why not use one of the most flavorful cuts of chicken, which would be the thigh. So we already have our marinade for the chicken ready. I want to pull this out. Pull out the chickens. And since they're there, let's go ahead and score them a little bit. Okay. Then, just willy-nilly put them in the marinade. Give it a stir to make sure they're all coated with the marinade. Once we've done everything, we're going to cover them up, put them in the refrigerator for boogie night. Okay, so now we're all prepped for tomorrow. We'll what's going to happen tomorrow is I have a pretty sizable grill. It's a little bit bigger than this surface right here. And you'll notice that I didn't cut those skirt sticks down to a manageable size. Some people may want to keep them about this big. I don't know, whatever works for you. All I know is there's a lot of fat on those, which causes a lot of flare-ups. And one of the reasons why I keep my skirt steaks so big is because I can actually use the skirt steak to dampen out the fire, to smother out the fire. Generally my thing is so big that I can put them on one side, which is hot, and flip them completely over, just grab a section, and you'll see it tomorrow, and go to the other side, and things are fine. But always keep a little water on hand. Try to keep your fire a little lower than you think you might need, and one of the reasons why is because there are flare-ups. Sometimes it's nice to have that stuff there. You may want to take it out and put it back in there, put out some fires. I don't know. We'll see how it works tomorrow. You'll get to see the whole process. All right, see you tomorrow. It's a bad thing. As it turns out, everything is warm. The refrigerator went out in the middle of the night. Tomatoes are good though. Well, like I said, the meat ended up being spoiled because the refrigerator went out. So I'll be keeping this clean. One thing I want to say about bakers and chefs is be sure that you check your meat when you pull off of it, because the screws come out and end up in the meat spontaneously. I've never seen anything constructed that has so many loose screws. I'm constantly having to tighten them up. I may have to put some thread tightener or something on it. This is what we're going to be using today instead. We're going to be making up some meat.
Sitting here with the genius of all music, and you're asking me to sing.
Oh. That's fantastic. That's so good, I want to mix it with everything else.